The soul is sacred for people. The body is filthy. How is it possible?
Hello everyone, today I'm making this special video about who is God, and I'm going to react about this video made by a compilation for Sadhguru and Zakir Naik, and then we see what they are talking about, like who is God. Personally, I'm an atheist, so I don't think I can give you anything about like who is God, but I can try and comment and react on what they are saying about who is God. I don't think I'm fully convinced about like the existence of God, but let's dive into the video and then I give you my reaction about who is God. Here we go.
Surah Ikhlas, chapter number 112, verse number 1 to 4. Kul huwallahu ahad. Say He is Allah one and only. Allahu samad. Allah the absolute and eternal. Lam yalid walam yulad. He begets not, nor is begotten. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. There's nothing like Him. This is a four-line definition of Almighty God given in the Quran. Any candidate you say is Almighty God, if that candidate fits.
So, in the beginning of this video, someone asked Zakir Naik who is God, and then he defines God depending on the Quran, like the definition of God according to the Quran. So, obviously, that definition doesn't fully satisfy other people. Let's say if you're Hindu, Christian, if you're an atheist, for example, because you need multiple sources. Because I've read different mythologies, I've seen the Greek gods, I've read about Hindus, I've read about, of course I was raised Christian, so like the definition of God is giving, I'm fully not satisfied with it, because that culture, I didn't grow up in that. Because when you're born into a home. If you're born into a Hindu home, you are likely to be a Hindu. If you're born a Muslim, you are most likely to be a Muslim without doubt. If you're born a Christian like me, when I was born a Christian, I was raised Christian and I became a Christian. But later on, I decided to change. I was like, no, if my religion is given to me by default of my birth, then I have to rethink things first. And then I thought about it, I did my own research, and then I found like to be an atheist is the only way, the only place like I can settle and interact with everyone and be at peace with any person of any religion. So let's continue with the video.
In this four-line definition, we Muslims have got no objection in accepting that candidate as God. The first is Kul huwallahu ahad. Say He is Allah one and only. Number two, Allahu samad. Allah the absolute and eternal. Lam yalid walam yulad. He begets not, nor is he begotten. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. There's nothing like Him. This is a four-line definition of Almighty God. Whoever you worship and say is God, if he fits in this four-line definition, we Muslims have got no objection in accepting that person as God. Hope that.
So here the fun part comes. I find this part to be funny.
The soul is sacred for people. The body is filthy. How is it possible? Yes, that's what we've been doing, isn't it so? Saying God is sacred, creation is filthy. How is it possible? The very thought of God occurred to you only because you saw creation, isn't it? When you were born and you opened your eyes, you looked around, so much creation. Before you came here.
To react on that in a short and quickly, when you're born, you know, when you're a child, you're curious, you're asking your parents about different things instead of giving you like real reality answers, because mostly like we are humans and we don't know things mostly. So you find like your parents are giving you this kind of representational answer that satisfies all, and usually that answer is God. God did this, God did that. But as you grow on and you discover on your own, you find like, yeah, some things, you know, are done by humans, of course things done by humans, and then natural things you find out, if you read about like evolution and all that kind of stuff, you find out how things actually came. And also like our solar system, before, you know, when you're born and you see the solar system, you're like, wow, like everything is your parents explain to you in terms of God did that, God rotates everything, like God brings the sun, whatever, rising, and you know, all that kind of stuff. But when you grow up and you study about that stuff in science, physics lectures, you find out that yeah, this is physics, that these are natural things Well, let's continue with the video. Don't ask me about where those natural things, who placed them there yet.
So much has happened. Obviously, you did not create it. So you thought there must be a creator. This is how you come to the creator, isn't it? The moment you thought there must be a creator, because you're in a human form, you thought it must be a big man. A small man like me cannot do all this. It must be a big man. Just 2 hands, how can it do so much creation? Must be 8 hands.
Probably a white bearded guy. Because that's what many people believe.
Isn't it so? If you were a buffalo, you would be really thinking, God is a huge buffalo. Isn't it so? Yes or no?
He's really funny.
You go and ask a buffalo and see. A buffalo will insist, God is a huge buffalo. Maybe 4 horns. You know Idi Amin? You heard of Idi Amin? The Uganda man?
Wow. Let me jump in here for a second. He's going to talk about Idi Amin, and Idi Amin was once our president in Uganda. I come from Uganda for 8 years, and yeah, it was pretty much a brutal regime. He was a funny man. Apart from the evil stuff he did, if you put that aside and watch some of the video clips of Idi Amin, you can search for them, you will find out that he was really funny. Like the things he did. He was somehow an educated man who rose up through the ranks to become a general, and then overthrew the president who was there, and then he became the president, and then that's how he became the president of Uganda. So you can imagine how funny his regime was, and it was really brutal. It has also to involve the it's chasing the Indians who are there, who are put there by the British from Uganda, and it was really catastrophic. So yeah, let's continue with and then see what he says about Idi Amin.
Idi Amin declared, God is black. I agree with him.
Yeah. As I've told you, Idi Amin was really a funny person. Somehow he had some sense of humor.
A white man can have a white God. Why can't a black man have a black God? But both those people are confused. We know God is brown. Because he visited us,
Wow, he's a funny man.
Some time ago, I was talking to a group of people in Nashville in Tennessee, and I was telling them a joke. In the joke, I just referred to God as Him. Immediately a few ladies stood up. Do you believe God is a man? I knew where it's going. I said, see, I'm only telling you a joke. It doesn't matter. You said Him. Do you believe God is a man? They take the jokes very seriously. Now women are arguing, God could be a woman. Such problems exist only in those cultures. In India, we have man God, we have woman God, we have cow God, we have monkey God, we have everything. Every
That's
kind,
right.
crawling one, creeping one, flying one. Because we foresaw all the problems of the future.
I must say he's telling jokes here, he's not defining
See,
who
when
is
man was
God.
the most powerful force on the planet, man was naturally God. Now women are also gaining in their power. So women are questioning, why can't it be a woman? So tomorrow suppose dogs gain a lot of power which they're gaining. So dogs will ask, why not a dog God? Actually the spelling also is close, He seems to be closer than you, isn't it?
Wow.
The idea of
Actually, the spelling of God and dog is just the reverse, and then you get, well, you can say, I hope I don't offend anyone, God is a dog.
God is just
yeah, God can be a dog.
an exaggerated version of yourself, isn't it? Your idea of God is just an exaggerated version of yourself. See, you're still not able to define yourself, isn't it? Whatever definition you put on yourself is not correct. Any kind of definition you put on you, it is not enough to describe this one. And this small piece of creation is like this, the source of creation. How are you going to put a definition on it? You cannot define it. You cannot understand it. You can only dissolve into it. You can experience it. You can never know it. You can't make knowledge out of it.
However, there I somehow disagree. I think the story of creation and going like in physics terms, there have been models of creations, how our existence might have come into place, like the planets and all solar system. There are researches about that and which are close, and for us human forms and other animals, plants, organic nature stuff, evolution pretty much explains how much we came into place. So I disagree on that.
Whatever knowledge you have about God is just pure nonsense, cultural nonsense. Depending upon which kind of culture you are in, that kind of God you have, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
It
That's
can
what I
only
was
be
saying.
experienced. Experience does not mean you can eat it or you can grasp it. No, you can experience only by dissolving in it. There is no other way. So we are just looking for methods of dissolution so that we can experience something far bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, I do agree with the end right there, saying we are just looking for methods of dissolution so we can, experience something bigger than us. Anyway, like, who is God? I just feel the question is in itself, like, if God is already a defined entity, we already define that as humans, like someone who is powerful more than us, if you believe in God. So, like, again, asking who is God, unless you're an atheist, but that would be pretty much forward for most people who are religious. Anyway, I hope I did the best reaction for this video. I just think Zakir Naik, he pretty much define God according to Quran, obviously, which doesn't define God for other people who are not Muslims. And then I think Sadhguru, he was being really funny, and I feel like somehow I was agreeing with him, like saying God is depending on the culture you're coming from, that's the God you're likely to believe in. Exactly, like if you're born in the Hindu culture, there are high chances that you're mostly to be a Hindu, because even though there are different majorities of religions like Muslims and Hindus, Christians, but the majority here are Hindus, so you are likely to become a Hindu. If you are born in a Christian dominant country culture, you're likely to become a Christian. So who is God? It depends on where you're born from and what your parents will tell you, and the society around and the culture you grow around. Whatever they'll tell you that's the God, that's what you believe in. It's pretty much surprising to find when you read back, like the Greeks, the Greek gods, you find like the gods they had, Thor, god of thunder and all. And then you read about the gods of Africa before the missionaries came. You find like we had gods of pretty much for everything. God for rain, God for harvesting. So yeah, wherever you come from, that's God. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope I did a nice video for you guys, and subscribe to my channel. Watch more other videos about my travel around India, and see you next time. Bye bye.